How is everybody today? We are back with the build streams. I'm your host, Juan and Kelsey.
She's both of us.
I'm both of us. We are one. Welcome in.
Yo, yo, yo. How's it going?
We have another totally packed and loaded build stream day for you. That's why we're getting started at 12.
Yep.
But yeah. Welcome in.
Welcome in, everybody.
Today's a really good day too because, yeah, every single build is a different case. So
no repeats.
You'll get to see some good variety. What's up, Dark Conan? How you doing?
How's it going?
We are good. We are good. Having a lovely time on this wonderful Wednesday. I don't know where you guys are, but where I'm at, spring has arrived and there's flowers everywhere, and I'm really happy about it. Like, even just driving home on the freeway, there'll be like poppies and stuff, like, just along the road, and it's so lovely. I'm in the spirit. I'm in the spring spirit. What's up, Melanin Wolfie? How you doing? Sitting here wondering if all this tariff BS is gonna affect my toy hobby and PC stuff. Yeah, I think everyone's wondering at this point. Still cold and in the 40s in Ohio. Oof. Gosh. Yeah, I guess especially like in the Midwest and especially further north up there. Yeah, I guess you guys would have snow even all the way through like April, right? Even May sometimes? Ooh. Yeah, well, it's a 90-degree day here, so I'm kind of mad because I feel like we're also just bypassing spring. I don't want 90-degree weather.
Straight to summer.
I'm already worried for all of my, like, things in the garden that I'm gonna get home and they're all just gonna be like, it was too much, man, like, tapped out. Almost done collecting Transformers. If not, this might be it. Outside is probably in the 80s, I think. Ooh, wow. Hiding in the bedroom with the AC on. Sounds like a good plan. Yeah, it's kind of nice to be at work during the day, because then when I get home, it'll finally start dropping temperatures and I can just open the windows and get a nice breeze. I love doing that. That's like the one thing I like about this time of year. In the like dead of summer, not as easy to do because sometimes it's still hot at night, which sucks. But when you have hot days and the nights are cool, just open all the windows, get that air flowing. It's nice. It's just lovely. That's my graphics card for my PC. Yeah, I bought some patio furniture because I was like, you know what?
From where?
Bed Bath & Beyond, which I'm now thinking doesn't have any more physical stores. Because I saw something on their website and I was like, oh, maybe they have it like in store. So I looked up a map and it was just a bunch of like permanently closed, permanently closed, permanently closed. I was like, okay, I guess I'll just order it. What's up, Killer? How you doing? Hey, you are first on YouTube. There you go. Well, we're starting today's build-a-thon off with Reuben. Also on the docket today, we've got Derek, D, and Nate. The new girl's at work got herself stuck in the walk-in only to find out it doesn't lock, so she was screaming there for like 5 minutes for nothing. Always gotta try the doors, come on. That's so funny though. I think sitcoms have primed us for that being a thing that happens, so, you know, when you walk into a place like that and the door closes, you're just like, well, this is it, until somebody else finds me, walks in, closes the door, and then we're locked in there, and it continues until, you know, eventually somebody opens it. But in real life, I don't think there's many doors that just, like, lock from the outside when you close it. Probably because of OSHA. I'll leave soon. I got an organic chemistry exam. Oh, dang, okay. Best of luck on the exam there. Chemistry was not my forte. When they started adding math to science, I was like, you know what, I think I'm out. Some people hate it, but to be honest, it's quite easy. Nice. If you got a knack for it, that's really good. We went hog wild on Black Friday and bought all new parts for an AM4 build because she was worried about tariffs. So we have all this stuff here, but haven't built it yet. Well, I mean, it's there for when you're ready for it, when you need it. What's up, Stocky Jack? How you doing?
Yo.
Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, that was me when I said 12th grade physics. Oh yeah. Yeah, honestly, I say I dislike chemistry, but physics was actually the one where I was like, hate this. Biology, fun. Horticulture, fun. Not physics. How many builds today? We got 4. Bunch of builds. Is it just me or am I like lower this week?
Lower?
On this chair?
Oh.
Maybe?
Try the lever on this side.
I mean I could, but I just couldn't remember if I was taller usually. Yeah, it's fine. I should have bought a 5700 X3D like 3 months ago, dang it. I mean, you can know. Another King Retro, yeah, very popular. But only one that we have today. We've also got an 011 Vision, an Antec Perfomance 1, and a Gamdias SOP 1. That's like the whole lineup.
Yeah.
Yo, good to see both of you. Hey, what's up, Coulter guys? How you been?
Yo.
Welcome in. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend, Juan. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, pretty good.
Cool.
Did you finish your graph?
I did. I finished the yard. And then, this is actually very funny. I was like, okay, we should go shop for patio furniture. Sounds easy enough, right? We went to Home Goods. They had some chairs that we were thinking about, but we're like, you know what, let's go look and, you know, like get all of our options. There's not really much in my town. So I had to drive to this other area that is basically just nothing but shop. It's very American suburb shops, you know what I mean? Where it's like big areas of just big box stores and shops. So we go over there. And the first place we go to, we're like, they had a good selection, but not really anything that we were like really vibing with. So I was like, okay, there's got to be another furniture store around here. There's so many shops, right? So I find one, and I'm like, oh, this looks great. Let's go to this place. We drive to it, just like across the way. It's in a mall. I did not realize it was in a mall. So I walk into the mall, and it's suddenly I'm back in like the 90s, because every mall still looks like that, you know? Indoor malls. Very nostalgic. And I used to work in a mall for several years, so suddenly all the nostalgia's like flooding back, and I was like, oh, malls. I love malls. I got a blizzard at the Dairy Queen. Yo. And I'm walking around, we go to the store, that store is closed, you know, like, cardboard up, like, nobody is home. And I was like, okay, cool. I've been distracted by the mall, but we still have not found patio furniture. We go to a Jerome's, which is usually expensive furniture, but I was like, you know what, let's at least give it a look. And I enter the store, and I see all the way in the back, there's a thing that says patio. I'm like, perfect, we're just gonna beeline it. They don't let you beeline it, though, because, like, they get commission there, so they're like, hey, what are you in here for? Can I please sell you something? Please. Well, I'm like, I feel bad, you know, because I'm like, girl, are you like, do I need to buy you some food? Like, are you okay? How are the finances at home? But I was like, yeah, it's cool, we're just going to patio. And the lady who stopped us was like, oh, we actually don't have any patio stuff in the store. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have any patio stuff in the store? Like, I see a big sign in the back. They're like, yeah, well, there's a catalog back there that you can order into the store. And I was like, so, let me get this straight. I can go to your store to order something online into your store when I could have just stayed at home and ordered it to my house and had the exact amount of, you know, precursor knowledge of what I was buying. And people think brick and mortar is dying because of online sales. I'm like, no, it's because brick and mortar is like, what if we did online sales into the store? And just didn't have anything in the store.
Yeah.
It was wild. Long story short, I just went back to Home Goods. But that was a wild goose chase, and I got a blizzard, so, you know, it wasn't all bad. What to do about a cockatiel that wants my brother's ice cream? Oh, that's tough. Because, like, you can't really give him the ice cream. I don't think dairy is good for birds. But on the plus side, it's adorable. My mom used to have a cockatiel that would try to drink wine. Every time you had, like, a glass of wine, it would just, like, travel down your arm and be like... I bought a Skytech Chronos, has a 9800 X3D and a 5080, can't wait, arrives Friday. Ooh, very nice, get hyped for that. That's a good machine. Weekend was good, and mostly just relaxed and played Power World with my girlfriend. I have so much to do before my trip next week, and I don't want to. Oh, I feel that. Yeah, I would like to say that, in my last move, I didn't procrastinate because I knew it was coming, but, I did procrastinate, and it got to the point where the movers were there, and they were, like, just putting stuff in boxes, because, like, it got down to that point. Oof. Isn't moving a pain? Being in a new place is awesome, but moving sucks. Oh, geez, Twitch sent out a note of 14 minutes late. Oh man, really? I was kind of wondering why nobody was here, like, you know, precursor to that. That's really interesting. Okay, Twitch. Oh, that's okay. We're still at the beginning. It doesn't seem like it because Juan's already got it in the case, but, like, it's still very early on.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly cleaning, and gotta see if my mom will watch my dog while I'm gone. Oh, nice. We're live on YouTube before I got the notif on Twitch. Wow, really? Dang, Twitch. Twitch is asleep, clearly. That's really interesting. I wonder why. We're trying to get that ice cream thrice. That's funny. I have a parrotlet at home. He's just a little guy. His name's Daniel, for some reason. And, he's always trying to get human food if you're eating it. But when I used to live in an apartment, so he was in the same room as me. I was eating ramen, and homie flew, and then lowered himself like a helicopter into the bowl. His little foot submerged into the hot ramen. He screamed and flew out of it, and I was just like, what? Why would you do that? First off, ew, my ramen. Second off, your poor little foot.
Did you still eat it?
Of course. I'm eating ramen. I didn't have a lot of money.
Fair.
There was another time too where he was like next to the bowl and he went and got like a slurp, but it was still hot, you know, and like he burned his little tongue and he screamed again, and I was like, why? You gotta quit. You gotta quit trying to eat human food. Greetings, Earthlings. Greeting, Cappy. How you doing?
Yo, yo.
Oh yeah, we are going. I got a lot of new cases to test, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It's really a shame though that I accidentally stuck my finger in the socket of the like motherboard that I usually do all my benching on.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I can fix this. You know me, I'm really good at bending pins back. No, homie, like that thing is just like, no, we're not on speaking terms anymore. Yeah.
Damn.
Immediate CPU error on it every time, and I'm just like, damn, dude. I really needed that to not happen.
Rude.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I was like changing the CPU out while it was upright. And usually I can do this and it's no problem. But CPU like dropped a little bit, and then my finger, instead of touching the CPU to hold it, just went boop. Yeah. Spaceship is running sweet. Nice. Did y'all go to school for computers? No, actually. I went to school for something different. I did eventually go back, take some community college courses in IT work, which got me like the foundation for doing all the troubleshooting and stuff. But Juan the Builder here, he was just born knowing.
Yep, all hobby knowledge.
I want to do what y'all do. Nice. Well, I was like, there's a lot of, like, you know, system integrators out there, and a lot of really cool, you know, careers in tech. So yeah, definitely doesn't hurt to do even just some, like, you know, few courses in like, I would say more like IT, like computer hardware, as opposed to computer science. But computer science is also very interesting, and can help with a career as well. One came out with a pre-built already done. What's up, Carnage? How you doing?
Yo, yo.
Ooh, XFX. Very nice. What are 9070 XTs going for these days, and should I wait on getting one? That's a good question. I'm not really sure what they are currently.
Price is different every day.
Yeah, I was like, it's a little, because there's like demand for it and people want to charge things, and oh, my package shipped. I know it can fluctuate, but let me see kind of what's going on. What's going on with that? Actually, not too bad. Assuming that this is actually something you can order. Yeah, actually, it seems like they have decent availability now. Looks like about $850, $900. Probably can find cheaper than that. Looks like some of them do say $750, which I think is what they were, like, you know, retail. Newegg's got one. Yeah, for about that. So yeah, not too bad. I've had my Skytech for 2 years now. Absolutely love it. We'll be upgrading through Skytech in the near future. I highly recommend them for those on the fence. Great communication from the team as well when help is needed. Thank you so much, Ghost Aficionado. Appreciate it. Thank you. Glad it's been holding up for you. Hello, Miguel. I'm gonna head out when the snooper shows up. Tell him I'm learning how to make. Okay, I will. I'm still using 3070 right now, 4 years old. Hey, 3070 is still a pretty good card. Don't get me wrong. I've still got a 6750 XT in my machine. I'm not updating anytime soon because for what I'm playing, it's still doing alright. And I have other things I need to pay for. Whew. So tell him I want him to be my Jesse. Okay. I don't really know what that means, but okay. Man, this weekend I might actually be able to play some video games.
Hey.
It's like, the yard work is defeated. Dude, I don't know what to tell you though. Like, something about, like, finishing the yard, like, it's complete. And then I mowed the lawn. And I was like, yeah, this is nice. Greetings from Switzerland. Hey, shout out to Switzerland!
Shout out.
Thank you. Well, welcome to Ontario, California. In this little studio. Mine's a Skytech clearance special. Quite happy with it. The best move for me would be a new CPU. Nice. And not the hardest upgrades. That's good. did this weekend? I watched Mufasa. Did I tell you this already? Why do I feel like I told you this?
No.
Okay, so I watched Mufasa.
How was it?
It kind of spits in the eye of a bunch of established Lion King lore that I, for some reason, knew because I really liked that movie when I was a child. So that bothered me.
Does it rewrite the backstory or something?
Yes.
Oh.
And I feel like they rewrote the backstory so that, like, Scar and Mufasa aren't actually brothers, so that they could do the Lion King 2 eventually and not have to worry about, like, oh, they're cousins. Even though in the original movie, the animated one, they just were like, yeah, Scar wasn't my father. End
What?
of discussion. Like, easy. So, yeah. Story was a little messy, I'm not gonna lie. The songs, surprisingly good. I was kind of surprised in that regard. Sounded very Lin-Manuel Miranda. The conflicts, I don't know if they were like, but, yeah. It got me watching The Lion King 2 yesterday, like, the animated film, and I was like, man, of all the direct-to-video Disney sequels, like, Lion King 2's gotta be one of the best ones. And then it's Aladdin and the King of Thieves after that.
They had their...
This is the hill I'll die on.
They had an era of just straight to DVD movies.
Oh, they really did, yeah. Every movie. And then they're like, oh, you thought we forgot about these ones? What if we gave you a Mulan 2 several years later, and it sucked?
Ah.
Yeah. Anyways, that's my soapbox. Yeah, most of the live action and stuff like Mufasa, I just don't care or want to watch. Yeah, me neither. But I just happen to really like The Lion King, even though I really did not like the live action Lion King. Mainly because I just felt like all the casting decisions were a little bit like Beyonce? What? But mostly with Timon and Pumbaa, like, they're not as funny. And that was actually my biggest gripe in this new one, was that they were there telling jokes the whole time, and none of the jokes were funny. Which is, in a contrast, again, I put on The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, and how come Timon and Pumbaa, OG Timon and Pumbaa, are hilarious? Like, all the jokes are still funny in that movie. The jokes that they were making in this movie were not funny because most of them were just memes that were relevant at the time of filming. Wow. And, like, no one's gonna remember. I Contain Multitudes is not funny on its own. Like, outside of internet context.
That's tragic.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing is, if I die before seeing it, not a loss at all. What do you think of the budget ASUS boards? Do you think it's worth it to save money for a better motherboard? Honestly, if you're looking at the Prime series of ASUS boards especially, I think those are fantastic boards. I would pick those over some of the higher-end boards even sometimes. ASUS does really good, really good hardware, so even their budget-ended stuff tends to be the best in the pack, from my experience. Are you sure it wasn't Lion King 1.5? No, although we're probably going to watch that this week too. I like the hot tub scene in The Lion King. Forgot which one. Gross but funny. Hot tub scene.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, maybe. Problem is, those were made during a different era of standards. They can't be as good, having to tiptoe on eggshells. Which is weird though, because I feel like the new one actually does that less. Like, Timon and Pumbaa are just kind of funny. In, like, a classically way that's, like, always gonna be funny, and, like, just kind of saying internet memes isn't, like, that funny. Lion King getting the Kingdom Hearts treatment, yeah. Won't watch live-action Lion King because I do not want the small chance to have Lion King ruined. Yeah, it's one of those movies where you watch it and you're like, damn, I wish I was watching the animated film. Because there's, like, so much that is kind of just, like, you know, a copy and paste, but worse. What graphics card can I upgrade my 3050 to? Technically, any of them. The real question you want to be asking is the dimensions of your case, so, like, what's going to physically fit in there, and then what your processor is. depending on what your CPU is, that's probably what's going to be most limiting to what kind of GPU you can put in there. But as far as like compatibility wise and all that, you can put any GPU in there as long as you download the NVIDIA drivers or the Radeon drivers that correspond to it. And yeah, assuming it fits in your case and you have enough PCIe power cables to power it. My ASUS Prime is almost 4.5 years old and still strong. Nice. Yeah, I love the Prime boards. I can solve case size issue with my Sazal. Anyways, yeah, I was watching The Lion King too, and that's why I forgot that the sprinkler was on. I was sucked in, what can I say? Ooh, and then this weekend, also, the Women's College Basketball Championship was on. My team was in the championship, and I made a buffalo chicken dip out of basically just cream cheese, buffalo sauce, rotisserie chicken that had been like pulled, you know, a bit of purple onion, and some cheese. And that was delicious. Ate it with some chips. What's up?
So there is a string today?
Yeah. Ate that with some chips, and my team won, so
Hey.
yeah.
What kind of chips?
Tortilla chips, but the restaurant style ones, like, you know, the ones that like somebody prepared these. These are extra greasy, very crisp, you know, yeah. Not like, you know, the little, I'm trying to think what the brand is. Like
Mission?
not Mission. Mission is good though. Like of those kinds of brands, Mission is the best. The little bag with the lady on it, that's like $2 usually. You can get in yellow or white corn. It has a little see-through little window into it, so you can see them.
Yeah. No, it doesn't ring a bell. I know which ones, I don't remember them.
Living by the beach sucks. So much dust. 45 minutes to clean out my PC and radiator. Oh, rip. I'm sorry. Also, all that. It's like any wood that you have in your house is gonna flex because of that ocean air and the temperature. The old carpets don't help either. If you can afford a 4060 Ti or Radeon equivalent, I'd try for that. If you can find a price that isn't ridiculous, which is the hard part, yeah. Not a bad option, yeah. In a land far, far away beyond the clouds and stars, a team of intergalactic star warriors were fighting the dark overlords, and it came to pass that they had taken heavy damage in their fleet. They were ordered to find the best computer overhaulers in the galaxy that would wipe out their dark overlords' advance in technology. There was only one choice: Skytech Gaming official, taking Star Warriors to victory. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We needed somebody to keep the lore alive. What's up, Equalizer?
Yo, yo.
Yeah. Man, it feels like that those days. Yeah, dude, I had a great weekend.
Dang.
Alright.
If you have time to game this weekend, you should play Repo with us. Have you seen any clips at all?
No.
The little guys? Dang.
I don't know, I need to catch up on Monster Hunter. Catch up, like I'm actually gonna catch up to anybody in like a day of gaming after so many weeks of not. But that's what I'm looking to play. There's a big fly in here. I'm sorry, folks. I will be distracted. I will catch it. That's like one of the things that I'm like weirdly proud of. If there's a fly buzzing around, I can usually get it. Like, I can usually be like, bam. And it's really weird. I'm very talented at that, and people think it's very strange when I'm just like, ah, got it! Man, I had my first little bug infestation in my garden.
Oh.
Had a whole bunch of these like orange aphids on my arugula. And the arugula's already bolted and I have way too much of it, so I just took the whole plant out and I threw it in the green waste bin, and I was like,
Oh.
problem solved. Just took the whole plant out of there. If you ever want to start a garden, this is my honest advice. You do not need 6 arugula plants. That's way too much arugula. And I love arugula. Now you gotta be careful how you plant strawberries, or when they grow, you can't get rid of them fast enough. Oh yeah, especially, what is it, the like bush growing ones that are basically like a ground cover? Yeah, those will go crazy. I might grow some in like a hanging planter to keep it all together, but I don't know. Gotta plant something in a hanging planter. Goes through hell, my dad screwed that planting process up. On the plus side, at least it wasn't mint. People who plant mint in the ground, like, you gotta sell the house. You'll never get rid of it. Also, I've heard potatoes are kind of similar. If you plant them in the ground, they'll just always be in the ground. But I feel like potatoes are more useful than mint. Yeah, but it's good at keeping some bugs away. True, definitely is. Mint and lavender. Well, lavender also brings the bees, which are helpful pollinators. It's weird, I planted 2 lavenders in like my side yard. One of them is doing great. It's about to shoot off a bunch of little, flowers and all that. The other one is like drooped. And I was like, what? Your brother's doing fine. I'm treating you both entirely equally. What is wrong with you? machine. Do something real quick. Come on, how does it feel to be a slave to PC building?
It's fine. Could be doing work.
Yeah, that is true. The great thing about computers is they don't yell at you for getting like the order wrong. Or just for no reason. Like retail is just getting yelled at for no reason and you're like, I don't make the prices, man. I'm sorry, there is nothing more in the back. Grocery reason I hide in the bedroom and don't come out is because I gotta listen to people cry about the price of groceries when these same people will fly off to Vegas and blow thousands on camera. Yeah. I do always kind of find it too funny when people are like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive. And I'm like, I mean, you don't have to buy that. Like, you could just not. Change the diet a bit, no? There. These are people who will fight me over 15 cents. Wait. It's gonna be me, man. Honestly, you could double charge me for something and I probably still want to go back and be like, this was wrong. I'll be like, well, the karma will come back to me. It won't, but I'm gonna tell myself something. The greatest technician that ever lived just started streaming. Linus? Who's Linus? I don't know, I was just guessing. TGTTL is the title for Thermaltake. Oh, yeah, never heard of that. To be fair though, I'm actually not really on like tech YouTube as much anymore. Like after a certain point you're like, what can I do to escape work? number 2. It's Wednesday, my dude. Like Kelsey to plant YouTube. See, that's where I'm trying to be. Although plant YouTube is also hard because someone will give advice and then I'll see another video being like, people say to do this, but don't. And I'm like, so what? Wait, what do I do? Do I or do I not pinch the flowers off of my tomato plant? I don't know. Vegas is so funny. Somehow the wheelchairs and canes sit unused, and all those old people who can't operate their phones are somehow able to work the EFF out of these out of these videos. It's invigorating. My favorite thing about Las Vegas is that y'all can just walk around with like a drink out, like on the strip. So when I was 21 I got a Rob Roy because I was a classy lady. I was walking around outside with it and I was like, wow, luxury.
Freedom.
But I don't like to gamble because if I lose $50, I genuinely just want to die. I'm like, I could have bought something with that instead. I won $50 once, waiting for my aunt to show up. I quit after that. Aunt, smart, quit while you're ahead. Yeah, I have a part of the family that really loves the casino. So when I'd go visit them, you know, they always want to go to the casino. And when I was finally old enough, I got to go to the casino. And they, like, couldn't understand why I, like, when I lost $50, I was like, I am done. And they're like, no, we're here for the rest of the day. Like, you gotta keep going. And I was like, no, like, I could have eaten with that money. I don't know. I worry a little bit for casinos in a couple generations, because, like, I don't know, we're not really, like, cool with losing a lot of money.
You worry for them or about them?
Like, I'm worried for them, like...
I think they're gonna be alright, dude.
I still feel like they're gonna have the same kind of draw.
Well, maybe, but now sports gambling is a...
Oh, that is true, yeah, that's
Newish.
kind of taken over, yeah.
Yeah, so they'll probably just... they're gonna be alright.
Sports ball gambling shark, man. Nah, I still want to gamble on that, but I 100% would have taken UConn in that championship game, and I would have been right. I was happy just being able to sit in the hotel room and order room service, not have to go anywhere. My kind of vacation, truly. When I went on my trip to Northern California to the Redwoods, we stayed at a very nice, like, old historic hotel. And I was like, I want one day where we don't go anywhere, we just hang out at the hotel and on the grounds. And it was lovely. Also, my zucchini hasn't bloomed yet, but it's 90 degrees today, and I feel like I might go home to a bloom or two, because I'm pretty sure zucchinis love heat, as does eggplant. My aunt was a gambling addict. She put a lot of debt to her family, lost her restaurant, probably still got a few more years to pay off her debt. Oof. That was rough. Hotel ain't cheap, so I feel like it's a good idea to enjoy it. Yeah, exactly. Well, and this one was nice, too. It had a little gas fireplace in it, and a lovely claw tub, and they gave you complimentary sherry, and I was just like, I don't need to go anywhere. And then I strolled the grounds later. There was a river that went by it. It was lovely. I sat down and I read poetry on a picnic blanket in the sun, and just had a great time.
Dang.
Yeah. Mothertech wants to go running around all over the place. Especially when you're on vacation, like, hitting like a, okay, we have to do this, then we have to do this, then we gotta be here for this, is stressful. Playing it by ear is nice. Why y'all start so early? We just have a lot to do, so when we got 4 on the stream, we gotta start at 12. zucchini before the vine borers and squash bugs find it. I probably should. I've been hearing a lot about the borers. Well, I am starting to get some pests. I had orange aphids on my arugula, so. Great. Have you tried smoked oatmeal? No. What is that? I'd eat pretty much anything, so that sounds good. Hello, Mr. Orange Barrel, how are you?
Hello, hello.
Welcome in. Aw, here we go. We're just in time for the unveiling.
Alright, folks. This build is done. It is finished. Complete.
Lovely, lovely. Look at that. Wow. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, I actually really love that XFX not power supply,
Nice.
GPU. I haven't seen that one in a hot minute, but I like the looks of it. Alright, it also really matches this, dang. This PC is done. It is gonna go and get Windows put on it. All the drivers that you need out of the box, it's ready to go. You can just download your game launchers, set up your profile, you're good to go. We are also going to stress test this, make sure these components work and work under load, and when it passes all that, it'll be headed to you. So watch out for it, Reuben, and thank you for ordering with us. Lovely PC.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm gonna be real pleased. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, I love the Taichi. Ugh. Hold on, let me queue up the next one. Is the next one Derek? The OLED Vision?
Sure.
Yes. Good. What if I do that? Sort of helped. Okay. Alright, Derek is next. Basically, smoke the oats on a grill before you cook them, like savory oats. Oh, interesting. I look that up. People do facial plants for aphids. Oh, it's artificial. Let them munch on the kale and it'll attract predatory insects to your garden. Oh, I was reading something like that. But they were suggesting radishes. I actually have a lot of kale, and my kale seemingly is the thing that has been left alone the most. Very weird. I haven't found a single bug on my romaine or my little gem lettuce, but something is eating it, and I don't know what. Y'all ever do an escape room? You know, we've talked about doing that before. You know, us and some of the guys, but I don't know if we ever will. Also, I feel like it could be kind of annoying just to be like, hold on. No one's listening. It could be slugs, they come out at night. Oh yeah, that could be it. Cause yeah, I was like, when I get home, it's been eaten and I don't know where they go, where they are. Woo! I'm not really seeing any like slime trails though, but it's gotta be slugs. Otherwise I have those little, what are they called? This is my fault, but the little flies that you get from having too much moisture. Okay, we'll get lots of aphids on them when it's really hot and the plant is stressed out. Okay. Next to the plant, you can check under it in the morning. The slugs will be under it. Oh, that's smart. capture them and send them loose on my enemies. I think I actually have an extra board I could totally use that for. Dang. What's for dinner? Ooh, okay. Tonight, I'm actually thinking nachos. Or, alternatively, some enchiladas.
Ooh.
Yeah. I got some beef that I put in the fridge, so. A little beef. Beef lo mein. Cover the enchiladas with nachos. That was pretty dope. I don't know why, but every time I make nachos, my brain's like, put macaroni on it.
What the?
I know, right? I'm like, who's telling me to do this? Why, brain? What will happen if I do this? Water area, they want it moist. I guess that makes sense for them, yeah. Yeah, that's probably what's eating them. Cause yeah, other than the aphids and the little flies, I haven't seen anything else. And maybe this was kind of smart, because my leafy greens are a little level lower and they're around the base of everything. My other plants have not been eaten or seem to have any kind of like bugs on them at all. So my tomatoes and my pepper are totally just like left alone, which is pretty nice. Also, it's crazy how many greens I get from this garden. Even with some of my like leaves getting chopped. I'll show you the picture of what I pulled yesterday. Look at this bowl full of greens.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, already?
And the last time I pulled greens from it was Saturday. Already had a whole full bowl again. Oh my gosh. What's the Discord? My mom just got 2 huge gardens made. Oh yeah, what is her? Hold on. Let me see if I can get the code from this. Woo! There you go. Haven't planted anything yet? Oh, that's the best part though, you get to plan. Good, and like, I don't know man, there's something really nice about like getting home from work and then just going directly to the garden, checking on everything, you know, pulling anything that's ready to harvest. It's nice. Maybe that's why I've been in such a good mood recently.
The gardening?
Yeah. Dude, you know that there was like this thing I read about how like, I don't know, in like prison populations and like rehab and such, gardening is usually like an activity they have them do. Because it's like, there's something about the dirt. There's like a bacteria or something in the dirt that actually makes the happy chemicals happen.
Oh.
Isn't that wild? Like, yeah, so like working in the dirt, working in the garden, like there's a scientific reason why it makes you happy.
And we yearn for the garden.
We yearn for the, yeah. Man was meant to dig in the dirt, mud pies. They're not just for toddlers. Oh my gosh, welcome in, Chicken Friezo. Thank you so much for the raid.
Thank you for the raid.
Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah. What you playing? Or doing? Welcome in, you're just in time for our second build of the stream. We got Derek's build right now. We just finished Reuben's. We got farmer ancestors. Our genes are calling us back to the field. I guess, yeah. If my genes aren't, then grocery prices are. Oh. Just kidding. Throwback to when we were talking about groceries. This case is modular, so you can like take off certain parts and rearrange them. This one allows you to get 2 fans in the exhaust if you do so. It's very cool. Dude, we almost won at beer trivia this week.
Oh shit.
Yeah. The last question, though, stumped us. It was about, like, world geography. We were screwed.
Dang.
I should start the second batch of cucumber seeds. Ooh. I planted a cucumber, but it doesn't look good. But I do think it's actually growing, just very slowly. There's a couple plants you can tell that I'm like, if it dies, it dies. And it's my eggplant and my cucumber are like, if it happens, it happens. Doing fertilizer? Yeah, I'm using for the tomatoes and the pepper primarily, I'm using this like calcium, magnesium kind of thing. I don't know, it's got a tomato on it. It's got some nitrogen in it as well and a bit of iron. And then sometimes I mix in this one that I've got that's like, it's like a fruit booster, but it's basically got a ton of nitrogen and some potassium. So every once in a while I'll throw some of that in, because I don't have any idea what I'm doing. And I'm like, well, they'll probably need this. I know that tomatoes and peppers are very nutrient hungry. But yeah, I probably need to get some much more pointed sorts of fertilizers. If you don't have any fruit on them, do more nitrogen equals green leaf growth. Yeah, that's a good point. I also mixed in a ton of grass clippings in with my dirt when I was setting the thing, because I had a bunch of grass clippings. And I was like, compost, even though that's not how that works. How much longer do you think I can get away with a 4060 Ti? I mean, I always like to say that as long as whatever game you want to play is still running fine with it. Because, like, yeah, there's certain cards where it's like, yeah, the game's coming out now, you know, they might need something beefier. But if you're not playing, you know, the most demanding game that's coming out these days, you might not need a whole new card. So I would say once there's a game that you really want to play and you're noticing that you're getting some performance loss in it, that's the time to upgrade. And with the 4060 Ti, I'd say at least another year, pretty solidly. For 1080p, I think you're totally fine. Produce more potassium and calcium, phosphorus. Okay, that makes sense. Dang, so I probably should be... Well, the pepper has a bunch of peppers, so that one's probably really appreciating that. The worst thing, Ruru, too, though, my cherry tree refuses to come out of dormancy, and I don't know why. Last time I put the fruit booster on it, all that nitrogen and phosphorus... Phosphorus? Potassium? Phosphorus, that was it. Had it blooming like crazy. This time I put it on, and I'm getting nothing. It might be competing, though, with... Because that's the only one I have in the ground, and it is surrounded by my lawn. It has a little cutout for it, like a square, but I wonder if it's competing with the lawn. Yeah. It's definitely still alive because it has... Like... It's very weird. If it doesn't cooperate, I'm gonna pull it out and put my lemon tree in there instead.
Damn.
Yeah. It's got to shape up. The citrus has no issues, it just needs more water, which it will get better in the ground. it might be hard in your climate. It needs some cold dormancy. Yeah. Well, and it gets cold where I'm at, and that one should be good for it, but I think it didn't really quite go completely dormant in the winter, because it dropped all of its leaves for a while, and then I poured some fertilizer on it in fall, and then it bloomed, and then it just probably never actually went fully dormant. But then it dropped its leaves again, so. Like 90s sitcom kisses. Woo! Why was that a thing? Oh, nice, Ant-Man. Those look like really nice gardens. Ooh. Yeah, you did like the nice, like, I don't know what that wood is called, but where it kind of looks like a log. Dang, no, you got a lot of space. That's gonna be great. I wish I had that much space. Posted a photo share. Yeah, I saw. Those are really nice. I like the wood that you got for those. The fact that it's like, kind of like a log. Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, I think you can plant a ton in there. World's your oyster. Found a Skytech PC in a storage auction. I won. It was missing a side panel, some RAM, and an SSD, but it worked wonderfully once I got the parts. Nice! Sick. Good find. I noted. By 6, it looks like it. It could also maybe be like, no, it's probably 24 by 6, you're probably right. I'd recommend bush beans, or like, you know, the green bean. That's one of the ones I'm kicking myself for not doing, because they apparently grow super easy, and, who doesn't love a good green bean, you know? You can make a casserole out of them, they're good. Looking forward to the Switch 2 release? The second they release a game that I absolutely must have, yes. But so far they haven't got me. The second the first Pokemon game comes out for it, yeah, I'll probably be all over that. But I'm more excited for the new Tomodachi Life, and I don't really know what that says about me as a person. But it will be really interesting to see what games come out in the future on that, now that they have, like, you know, a higher hardware capability. Any Zelda, perhaps? Yeah, but I feel like since Tears of the Kingdom came out not too long ago, I feel like Nintendo always has to, like, cook a Zelda game for a while. So I'm predicting we got at least another 2 years before a new Zelda. But yeah, I'll probably jump all over that too. Although, I keep realizing, like, as I get older and play Zelda, I'm just like, these were puzzle games. I hate puzzle games. Why did I like this so much? But
What's up, bro?
they're fun.
There's a customer that is actually on the Gold stream today, but canceled. So,
Which one?
canceled to be built on stream, but
Oh, but it's already here, yeah.
it'll be no time waiting if we don't.
Okay, we'll go straight to that one.
I mean, I'm gonna try to tell Nelson from talking to him to tell him that it's already here.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, I was like, sorry, I was like, what's happening? Sorry. I need to.
We'll still get it out today regardless.
Faster if it's already here.
It's the same. It's already here, bro. It's the same. Like the waiting already happened.
Okay, I don't know why I'm still singing.
Sorry.
That's okay. Echoes of Wisdom was so cute and fun. Yeah, I need to play that one. That one looked really exciting. But that's actually one I still gotta play.
Switch on.
In summer when he was younger, my mom had us make the garden. At first, digging up was the hardest part. We were out there from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Dang. Yard work is no joke, man. It's time consuming and it hurts. And the stupid thing about me is all my yard work, I spread it out across several months. So instead of getting incredibly buff and thin, I got neither of those things. Hey, what's up, Gil? We're good. How are you?
Yeah.
We're on our second PC of 4 today, so yeah,
Maybe 3.
maybe 3. We'll find out.
It's all good.
I'm noticing my graphics card has been reached between 50 to 70 degrees Celsius. Should I be worried when playing games?
Not at all.
No, that's totally normal. That's a good range to be in. That PC's looking great. Any favorite CPUs you guys love at the moment? Oh man, I mean obviously the 7800X3D and the 9800X3D are both sweethearts right now.
Yep.
In other news, I also really liked the 7700 non-X as like a pretty good budget-friendly, solid 8-core, and it runs cooler than the 7700X, and in my opinion is worth the tiny bit less benching that you get. And the 9700X is a good option too. I feel like those ones are kind of slept on for just like a solid 8-core. From Intel, 265K is a very good chip from that one. And from last generation Intel's, the i5 13 or 14600K is my pick of that litter. How much for Juan to build a mineral oil PC? How much?
I don't know how much you got.
Gotta get the oil in all the ports. Oh yeah. I got the 7600X in a bundle with a terabyte of storage, LOL, after 10 years with an A10 6700. Nice! I mean, I think that's quite the upgrade there. Dang, and a well-deserved one after 10 years. But yeah, even the 7600X, solid 6-core, like, there isn't a bad AMD chip in AM5. Tough enough. That's the motherboard. I'm not just saying that ever. How come we like monetize on YouTube yet? I don't know. I don't know if we have enough, like, whatever it requires for one to get monetized. That's a good Fabian question. Because I know we are on Twitch. PC building is so rewarding, lol. So cool, you guys get to do it as a job, yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. There's definitely worse ways to waste a work day than building PCs.
Oh yeah.
Get your case signed by one and Kel LOL. We've done it.
Yeah.
Limited edition case, yeah. Very precise. Are you guys fan coolers or AIO stands? Okay.
Yeah.
I like an air cooler. I like an air cooler for its simplicity. But I don't like build-a-brackets. Build-a-bracket air coolers are my enemy in that, like, I tend to fail them a lot. Why?
Good.
Because, like, what?
Oh, I said good.
Yeah. Mainly because, like, yeah, if I have to, like, balance some spacers and then, like, also a little bridge and I gotta put the screw in and none of that can move or else it all topples down, I'm gonna lose it. But when they kind of just directly, like, screw into the motherboard or whatever, you know, back plate they give you, love that. Nothing better. What would y'all be doing if y'all didn't have to work and only had to wash dishes three times a day? No bills? Dang.
Damn. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Probably still something with my hands.
Hmm.
Working on cars, maybe.
Yeah, I'd probably be in the garden. I think I would do a lot of writing, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Like
What
if I
would
had
you write
too. Nothing I can say on this video.
Oh my god. Okay.
No. Probably just, I don't know.
A lot of GL, huh?
Fiction. Fiction, poetry, journaling even. Yeah. I don't know. I'm someone who likes to live up in here and it comes with really good ideas. I would probably also be going outside a lot. Lots of walks. Lots of hikes. I'll let you know when I do. I'm so jealous of writers, they can put ideas on paper, yeah. I'm still struggling with that in some regards, but I realize that the biggest struggle is actually just getting in your own head about it. Because, like, it doesn't need to be perfect, the first draft. Like, that's what editing is for. The most important thing is to get the idea down and, like, you know, work on it as you go. But there's just part of me that's always like, no, this is it. This entire idea that you poured your heart and soul into and that you think is going to be a great reflection of, like, all of your, like, thoughts and musings and observations in your entire life on Earth. It needs to be down and it needs to be perfect now or you won't be able to go. Like, that's what stops me. If I can get rid of that, I can just go. And then I can get back in editing to put all my thoughts, feelings, and observations of my life and time on this Earth in there. A real great talent to be able to write, for true. You use apps like Trembly or Biblisco? No, actually, when I was writing a bit more, this was like way back when I was in college, gosh. It really is one of those things where you need time to do it, because like you just need time to like sit down and get ideas out. I used to use something called Zen Writer, which was basically just all atmosphere, and that was really nice. But now I mostly, I kid you not, I use a composition notebook and a pen.
Ooh, retro.
Yeah. If I had time, I'd probably sit down at the computer and actually type things out, but usually it's like just getting ideas down now. But yeah. Ooh, and in addition to writing, I would read a lot more. I love reading, but I just don't have enough time to read more than a couple books a year. Stephen King erotica stuff. Some of his stuff kind of seems like that, where you're like, okay, King. And especially Anne Rice. Do you guys keep up with football, soccer? If so, which team do you support? You know, I'm not really a soccer fan. I love sports, actually, but soccer's the one I have a hard time staying engaged in. So yeah, I don't really say I have like a favorite soccer team. Probably by default, the San Diego, what are they called now? A Wave? I don't know. In women's professional soccer, but that's. I've never sat down and watched a full game. I know it's like weird because I know that the rest of the world is really into soccer, but I'm very American in this regard. What's up, Robert? How you doing?
Good.
FS25? Maybe. I might actually have time to video game this weekend, finally. My yard is done. I have an event to go to, and it's my birthday on Sunday. What?
It's your birthday?
On Sunday.
Dang.
So.
What are you gonna do for your birthday?
Well, I was gonna watch the Digimon movie. No, I don't know. my dad might come up, and I was like, maybe bring my siblings, but like that's like a maybe, so I don't know. I don't really know what I'll do if my dad shows up either. Like, what are we all gonna do? Maybe go bowling? Happy early birthday, thank you. Like, all I really want is cake. Thank you, Raymond.
I had to screw the sign.
The on air.
Yeah, because we realized every time we have to change the battery, it ripped off the wall. With the tape.
How long do the batteries last?
Well, it's because it was. You know how in the remote control, there's a remote control on option?
Yeah.
Apparently it stays on when it's off. That's
Oh.
drain the battery.
Wow.
See your beautiful smile. Barbecue cheesecake. Ooh.
Ooh, what?
Ooh. Is it weird though that I was like, yeah, bring my siblings over and I'll cook for all of us?
What?
That's my birthday idea. It was like, I really want to make you guys a really good steak. Because I can make a really good steak.
Should be making you steak.
No, I don't trust them to make steak. I thought I didn't like steak, but I realized I just didn't like the way my dad made it. Last time they came up, I cooked steak for them, and I was like, this is delicious. What the heck? What are you guys' thoughts on the Pokemon card scalper situation? Okay, I actually have a lot of thoughts about this, because I used to work in a comic shop for several years, and obviously we also sold trading cards. And I'm mad as heck that people are scalping Pokemon cards. It just sucks, because, like, I actually used to sell the most Pokemon cards just to kids who wanted to open a pack of Pokemon cards. Not even to, like, serious players or collectors. I would sell a few, you know, obviously to collectors, but it's kind of sad that, like, oh yeah, you can't really just get a pack of Pokemon cards at Target for being good or whatever, you know?
Scalpers are bad in any.
Yeah. I'm happy that they're not in the Digimon trading card community. But yeah, I think it's incredibly messed up. Because I know what my old store is now charging for Pokemon cards when they get them, and we're pretty fair. Like, you know, we kind of understand, like, you know, we want to do right by our customers, and those prices are still stupid. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it. People who make a lot of money by scalping things, it's like, cool. Is anyone gonna want to hang out with you when you're old? Probably not.
Jeez.
You know what I mean, though, where it's like people
Straight
who are
for
like,
the jugular.
yeah, like, cool, you got money off of that, but like, do people want to sit next to you at dinner? So. What's the best thing Juan can cook? What's the best thing you can cook?
Ooh, Give me a second. A nice bowl of cereal. A glizzy, perhaps.
Oof. Perhaps in the microwave or boiled?
Ew, gross.
Wait, what gross? Which one's gross?
Boiled, yeah.
You don't, okay.
I feel like boiled doesn't give it any character.
Boiled makes it juicy. What are you talking about? And it doesn't get that weird microwave skin that's like...
I've never microwaved it either.
What do you do with it?
Really?
Oh, okay. I was just thinking like, you know, an easy thing at lunch. No?
I guess microwave's an option.
Cow steak, Farm Simulator 25 birthday. Yeah, and blueberry. A good ribeye cut is difficult to mess up if you like medium well. Yeah. Well, I went camping recently. I went to Joshua Tree, and when I go camping, I usually have this thing called the cast iron cook-it-all, and it's the greatest thing I've ever bought in my life. Like, truly. Anything that I would buy again a million times, the cast iron cook-it-all by Lodge.
Hashtag ad.
Hashtag ad. Literally sponsor me, Lodge. I'll do it. So I was just going. It was just me and my fiance. So it was like just the two of us. So I just brought a cast iron skillet that I had, and I have a little thingy that you can put in the fire to set it on, basically. And I did green beans, hunk of butter in there, salt and pepper,
Beans?
green beans,
Still
string
beans?
beans.
Still beans?
It's not. It's different to
Okay.
me. Anyways, yeah, butter, salt, pepper, and a clove of garlic in aluminum foil. Wrapped that up into a little baggy kind of, not baggy, a little hunk. Throw that on the fire for about an hour. Potatoes, russets, cut them up a bit. Butter, salt, and pepper. Wrap that all up just like the green beans on the fire for an hour, rotating occasionally. Well, not occasionally, halfway through. And then I got a ribeye steak, and I thought I had a second ribeye steak, but it was chuck. It was good though. I was happy, but I was like, who the heck put this chuck in with the ribeyes? And my stupid ass picked it up. Anyways,
No Chuck.
so cast iron over an open fire, right? And a perfectly seasoned cast iron pan. I drop that sucker in, salt, pepper, cooking it. It was also dark at this point, because that was stupid me. I didn't start early enough. So I couldn't quite tell exactly how done it was, but I did a couple minutes on one side, flip it, a couple minutes on the other side, seared the edges, throw that one off, get the other one on there, and it was so insanely good. I was losing my mind. It was so good. It was perfectly medium. Oh my gosh. And then the butter beans, which is what I call green beans when I cook them in a bunch of butter. Delicious. The potatoes came out perfect. That's the power of cast iron, baby. What's the best GPU for $200? A 2060 perhaps? Probably at about 200. If you could still find like a 3060 at that, you'd be sitting pretty, but otherwise you're looking at,
Something secondhand.
yeah, I was like, even a 6600 probably is more than that. Yeah, great cast iron skillet, keeps great heat, and if seasoned well, non-stick, yeah. And then in the morning, I made eggs, actually first in the morning, I treated my little cast iron, and I cooked bacon in it, and they love that. They love it when you cook bacon in them. So I cooked a bunch of bacon in it, and then poured eggs, flipped that a bit, grilled a tomato or two in there, which you're not supposed to do, but after the bacon, it was totally fine. And then put that on an English muffin before putting it back in the cast iron in some of that nice bacon grease.
Oh,
Heated
yeah,
on one
wait.
side, heated on the other side, so the cheese melted. Perfection.
In the olden times, didn't they think that tomatoes were poisonous?
Yes,
Because
because they
of-
used to cook in pewter.
Oh.
So the thing is, like, the tomato obviously is not poisonous, but the tomato is incredibly acidic. So when you cook it in pewter actually is toxic if it releases something. It won't normally, but
Ah.
the tomato was acidic, so it would make it release this. I can't remember what the element is, but yeah, and it would poison you.
A lot of pro racers prefer cast iron block motors because they hold more power.
Really?
They're more resistant to bigger turbos,
Mm.
more boost.
I'm just saying, man. We need to return to cast iron. It's perfect. What's up, Seneca? How you doing?
Yo, what up, Nero?
Honestly, whenever I come to this channel, it is about food. I'm so sorry.
It's a lot of times anything but PCs.
Or at least
which
it's
is
lead.
fine.
That's it. Pewter has lead in it. Okay. I was like,
Lead. It was
yeah.
the lead, right? They were
Mm.
getting lead poisoning.
Yeah. Chuck in with steak. Bummer. Yeah. It ended up being pretty good. We ended up, one of us each had a steak, but then, halfway through, we, switched just in case. But they were both pretty good. I think if you just add enough salt to anything, it's delicious. I'm getting hungry now, lol. I'm so sorry. It's an inevitability on this stream. Opinion on Intel GPUs? Excellent question. So, for the price, they're a fantastic value. And they get better with every support release that they do. So, if that's what you're, if that's where your budget's landing, they're a really great option. The only thing that they kind of struggle with is some older video games. And we're talking fairly old, you know what I mean? But even so, they seem to be getting like, as time goes on after their release, it gets patched and they get better with that sort of thing. So if you're playing more modern stuff, or I would even say just stuff in the last 8 years, you're totally fine. Cast iron sperm sale. I'm a big fan. Next build is going to cost me around $6,700. It's going to be a Ryzen 9 9950X3D with an RTX 4090 and 128 gigabyte RAM with 2 terabyte storage and a 1200 watt power supply. Nice.
Dang.
Total beast. Dang. That's gonna be really good though.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, what you gonna be playing with that?
Roblox.
I mean, occasionally, yeah. Totally can. What y'all think of Nintendo raising the bar for video game prices? I think it was pretty inevitable.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it, but they've been talking about it for a while as far as, like, when's it gonna happen? And, like, it's happening. I don't know. It's one of those things where if I want the game enough, I'll buy it. And if I'm not 100% of the game, I just won't. So they'll make some more revenue, obviously, but I think they'll also miss out on some revenue from just people who are, like, not worth it.
I feel bad for kids because I know how hard
Oh
it
my
was for my
gosh.
parents.
Yeah.
Or for me to convince my parents to buy me a game. So, like, kids in these modern times
Yeah.
asking for an $80 game is gonna be tough.
Yeah. We used to get like one video game a year at Christmas, but I had some aunts back east who had some money and they would be like, what do you want?
Hell yeah,
And
shout out to the ants.
For real, one time they got us 5 video games.
How
Like,
I'm trying to be.
there's 3 kids, you know, like 3 of us. But yeah,
Damn.
5 video games for Christmas one year, and we were like over the moon. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, get you some ants.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be like that.
But yeah, no, I can't even imagine. Especially the way that my parents were. Like, today, I'm like, can I have an $80 game? Would not have gone over well. Computer is like a lead silver. Oh, interesting. Lead silver, actually. Decent specs for music production? Yeah.
Pewter.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Pewter, the horses. The horses here. As far as music production, the main thing that you're going to want is processor power and RAM. Not a ton GPU-wise going on there. But yeah, so I would go with a decent processor, depending on what your budget is though, obviously. But more cores. More cores over even clock speeds, I would say. And a decent amount of RAM. Doesn't have to be the fastest RAM, but a good amount of it. Higher gigabytes. Hope someone knows this or heard of this. My C drive, Kingston SNV 2S 2000G 2 terabyte shows drive temp 32C, idle drive temp 360C. It stays 60 no matter what I do. So even when it's idle, what was that in 60C? So it's gonna have different sensors on it in certain places. So it could just be that the sensor in that is what it baseline runs at, which is 60C.
Are you noticing any kind of performance drops?
Yeah.
or-
Do you have any like lag or anything? No matter what I do. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, Logan?
Yo.
Sounds like an awesome build, indeed. Make music a decent 8 to 16 core CPU, 32 gig of RAM's enough. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good option. Okay, so let me think. So no matter what you do, it stays at 60C. You know what? Let me ask my buddy in R&D. He handles most of the drives. I'm cases, coolers, and CPUs. He's drives, RAM sometimes, power supplies.
So, how about that repo handy?
Yeah, I'm playing Angel wants to play.
Angel wants to play? Oh, that's cool. Dude, it's so funny that you had to clutch up so many times. We kept dying.
No, you Frank flushed up on too?
Yeah, he did that one time, but then when we played with the girls,
Oh yeah.
when their whole group died, and then my homie kept, I don't know what the heck the monsters, like, he keeps dying first all the time. It's kind of funny.
Which one killed us? The laser guy?
I think so. The clown? Anyone playing repo in here? It's quite fun. It's dumb fun.
Nice.
Hmm? Yeah, it's a good $10 game.
Stressful.
Stressful? It can be. There are scary moments.
I remember at the last time where I was looking fun, I went up to the attic and saw those three things. Like that.
Oh yeah. We were watching. We were like, is he really gonna drop that all the way down?
No fucking way I'm gonna move that.
Dude, it would have been funny as hell if you dropped it on the monster.
Okay, shush. Sorry, I was like, luckily he knew exactly what you were talking about, and so he posits, because he's seen the same thing, that it's actually just holding a max temperature value. So it stays at 60 no matter what, because it's basically just logging the hottest that the drive gets, which is just 60, and so it's not changing or fluctuating no matter what it's doing, unless it was to set a new high, which it seems like 60 is just what it goes to. So yeah, nothing to worry about there. He's seen it too.
What are you snacking on?
Some Welch's little fruits thingies.
Nice.
You know me. Thank you. You were very welcome. I knew he would know, because I was like, he's working on those drives all the time. He's getting all that data.
Those little stack drives.
Mm-hmm. Funny thing is, when you buy the best PC, you can buy and then realize you don't have the best PC tastes in games. It's so true. Okay, sorry I shushed you. I was like, I need to get this information
No,
out.
you're fine. We're just talking about repo
Oh, yeah.
and how you should play it for like the 10th time.
Have you guys been playing it together?
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
I might.
fun.
Shoot, okay, if I do that, can I stream it while we do?
Yeah, no, it's a good streaming game.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, I'll look into it.
dumb little commentary.
Yeah. Those games just feel like Gary's mod.
Yeah, it kind of does.
That PC's looking beautiful, indeed. That's gonna be really cool when we light it up. That made me sound like I was gonna like set it on fire, but I meant like, you know, when the lights go. My PC in the Thermaltake Tower 300. It's so beautiful. Nice.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool case.
Has that case surge? I have a Thermaltake. I don't know. Yeah, that's a pretty nice case. Interestingly, I have a bunch of Corsair cases in right now. Wow.
Oh.
I know, I seldom get them. We'll see. We'll have to see.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Man, this is my one weakness in this world. Sugar.
Everyone's gotta have a vice.
Yeah. Why couldn't mine be like broccoli?
No, at least it's not caffeine.
That's true.
Or work.
Yeah, no one eats an entire box of, you know, fruit by the foot and then pees on themselves and they fall asleep on the couch.
Yeah, you can still drive after you have a whole bag of gummy worms.
So there is that. I kind of want the Thermaltake View 380 Hydrangea Blue. Ooh.
Yeah, they've been dropping some cool colors. I like that. The world needs more whimsy.
It really does. And you have no idea. For my yard, I was gonna do like whimsical little, like, you know, circular-esque rocks that do a little, you know, rock path.
Oh.
No, they didn't have those at Home Depot. They didn't have those at Lowe's. I had to get squares.
It's not a place of whimsy.
No, there's no whimsy. It's all squares. Which sucks too, because now you can tell, you're like, these two are a little too far apart. You
Dang.
wouldn't have been able to do that with a bunch of just random circly stones, yeah. None of them are the same shape, how would you know? Whimsy hides imperfections. This I know is true. Okay, so much. Room to hide cables, lol, but apparently there's a problem with different GPUs that have vapor chambers, so I have a GPU without one, and it's difficult to get to the motherboard. Oh, yeah. That's the thing with some of those like cases that have dimensions like that, is it's usually you have to sacrifice something, or it makes something a little difficult, but when it's all up and running and doesn't have anything that needs to be done to it, it's lovely. USB hub, and have everything in place, and there's a good trade-off for that. Yeah. Anything that looks really cool usually can be a bit of a pain in the butt to build in.
Yeah. It's a trade-off.
Yeah, you got to struggle for your art. $50.90, so jelly, I know. It's pretty fantastic. How y'all doing today? We are good.
Very good.
How you doing, the Adept? We're on build number 2 of 4. So yeah. 3?
3.
Oh my gosh. Wait, we did 2?
One got pulled last minute.
Oh, you're right. Okay,
Not
sorry.
a problem.
My short-term memory is actually the worst.
What? Yeah, actually.
I do not remember that happening, even though it definitely did.
I am not a fan of this thing.
No?
No, it comes off really easily.
don't think most people are going all day when it's in the computer.
Yeah, it just makes me scared that they're gonna receive it from shipping and just discombobulated.
Also just keep swimming, so I feel it do be like the. It's like walking into the kitchen and then forgetting why you were there. Exactly, all the time. Are you building this for your customers? Yes. We have a custom builder on our website. If you order through that, there's a free option to have it built live on stream, and that's what we're doing right now. The GPUs with the vapor chamber run hotter in that case because of the vertical position of the GPU, but there's a kit for the case that you can put in it. You can put it in horizontal position and it gives it a different look. Nice.
That's cool.
At least they they put a fix to it in there,
Yeah, I think Thermaltake, for the most part, on their higher end cases, they just want you to do like full loop cooling, or at least it feels like they designed their cases with that in mind, primarily than anything else.
Are you guys working under a CEO for Skytech, or you also make products? No, I was like, somebody else runs Skytech.
Yeah, we're just employees.
We just work here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that headache.
You guys joined the Marvel Rivals craze? I have dabbled, I have indeed. That's another one I need to get back to. But yeah, it's fun. I kind of wish though that they had more voice lines. Like, I know the game was probably a little rushed in like coming out, so they didn't have it so fluffed, but compared to Overwatch, that's like the biggest thing I feel like it's kind of lacking, is like character interaction between different heroes and like just variety of voice lines. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can't they just steal the MCU lines?
No, because they have different voice actors.
Oh, they're
And
not
also,
licensed.
a fair amount of the characters aren't in the MCU.
Did you ever play those Avengers games?
Which
Guardians of
one?
the Galaxy.
No, I didn't. The, what is it, Square Enix one that they did?
Yeah, I think so.
I was so excited for that, but then when it came out, people were like, eh.
Yeah.
Because I really
They
thought when they
weren't too
announced it, I was like, this is going to be our game. I said to me and my friends, as though we would ever play video games together, because they're really weird like that. Because, we loved the Avengers, and it was like, this is going to be an awesome multiplayer game. It doesn't require any kind of, like, monetary thing for it. It just comes with the game. Nah, bust.
Bust.
I heard the Guardians of the Galaxy game was pretty good, but didn't play it. I never wanted to break controllers so much as I have playing that game.
The Avengers game?
Frustrating, I'd imagine. I used to play, though, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and the one I really liked was X-Men Legends 1, not 2. I didn't like 2 as much. Why? Because they changed Nightcrawler's, like, animation for when he runs, and they also just decided that Rogue was not going to touch the ground anymore. She was always going to be gliding, and those two things, I was like, I'm out. And they changed Gambit's voice actor, and he was not good.
Damn.
And those things, I was like, out.
Should have hired Channing Tatum.
He did a really good job, actually. Like, yeah.
How long I've been waiting for. I can't do it. I'm not even gonna. Yes, he was hilarious in that movie.
Never said how people would break monitors and TVs until rivals. Oh man. Yeah, for me it was League of Legends. Yeah, you can get frustrated, that is for sure. They couldn't afford Channing Tatum to voice himself. Funny. Dang, actually back then they probably really couldn't afford Channing Tatum. He was huge at the point. Yeah. Man, what a guy. His whole name is basically 2 last names. You know, like, it's like Channing. What kind of a first name is Channing? Although I did know a girl named Channing. But, like, Channing Tatum, that's last name, last name.
Last name, last.
That's being like, I'm Smith Baker.
So is he extra trustworthy if their last names are not first names?
I don't know.
You know that meme of like you can't trust a guy with 2 first names?
No, I don't know that name.
Yeah, you can't trust someone with 2 first names. Anyways, this build is done. It is finished. Just
Lovely, lovely. Gorgeous PC. Alright, this PC is done. It's gonna go and get Windows put on it, all the drivers that you need, so out of the box, it's ready to go. You can just set up your profile, download your game launchers, you're good to go. We're also going to stress test this, make sure these components are working, and that they work well under load. And when it passes all that, it'll be headed to you. So watch out for it, Derek, and thank you so much for ordering with us.
thank you so much.
Lovely PC. I think you're really gonna enjoy it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Whomso is the next one?
On to our final build of the
Antec. Alright, D, you are up. Thank you so much, guys. It looks amazing. You are very welcome.
You're welcome.
Enjoy. His name's Jeff. Yeah, Jeff the Shark is quite annoying. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was getting rocked by one last time I played. I am Ruru the Groot. And I don't know why, I just remembered going to midnight premieres for Marvel movies, and now I'm like, man, imagine staying up till midnight and then watching a movie. Like, how did I do that?
Jeez. Dude, remember the marathons when Endgame came out? Of like the entire franchise?
No, but I can imagine that. the young blood back then. Yeah, we traded that for responsibilities. I was so stupid. Why? Those were the times. They don't really have like midnight premieres for movies anymore, do they?
I don't know.
Or is it just that like there's not really movies that are like midnight premierable anymore? Like,
Yeah. They come out on Thursday now. It's weird.
oh, weird. What is the next step beyond cloud gaming? That's a good question. Probably like probably cloud gaming, but onto your phone. Wouldn't it be interesting if we actually saw phones get bigger? Like, because they kind of have been. But, like, kind of returning to, like, multimedia thing, sort of, like,
Oh,
wow.
boy.
I don't want to speak that into existence. They already can't fit in my pocket.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't really know. After cloud gaming, maybe we just decide that it's finally enough and we're good.
Yeah.
Odds of that? Probably not high, but... Is the Colorado? Yeah. No more midnight releases. Yeah, I mean, I still went to a bunch after that, though. But I kind of wonder if it's like, oh, you know, like the blockbuster film, the franchisee film was kind of done. Because the big ones for it were like Harry Potter, Twilight, and the Avengers. But yeah. Well, and like Batman, you know, superheroes. But yeah. That being said, I finally might go back to the movies to go see Thunderbolts.
Nice.
Just because I was like, you know what, I just want some popcorn. That's already a thing, cloud gaming on your phone, tablet, etc. with GeForce Now and xCloud. Yeah, I guess the next thing would for it to be good. Because that's the thing, is I just don't feel like it's really that good right now.
Yeah.
Or if there was a way to do cloud gaming when you weren't connected to the internet, which I don't really know how that would work. But I feel like that's like cloud gaming's biggest limitation. Is that like, if you want something that's truly mobile, can you really be so tethered to like a Wi-Fi network? The greatest thing about the Game Boy was that you could take it camping, you know what I mean? You could be in the tent playing Pokemon Emerald. Not a care in the world. Can't do that with cloud gaming. Unless your campground is in the city. Which some of them are. Have y'all played South of Midnight? No. I remember seeing the early trailers for it and being pretty excited for it. But I've heard reviews that it was kind of like, I don't know, I was reading that one review where it was basically saying, like, it was a really great game for 2013. But, like, you know, capturing old game nostalgia isn't necessarily going to be genre-defying. That being said, like again, haven't played it, haven't really watched any playthroughs, so can't really speak to that. Hopefully they come out with the new Pokemon Stadium for the Switch 2 with hundreds of Pokemon now. I've been wanting a Pokemon Stadium game, or even just original Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, to like release on the freaking 3DS or whatever. I loved Pokemon Stadium. That's probably the game I played the most on the N64 out of any other game. The mini games, tons of fun. But also, just battling Pokemon was fantastic. And I would play against my sister in that game, and she would always pick like the legendaries, and I would be like, I'm gonna have a War Turtle and Eradicate for some reason. And I'd still win. I never got past the Prime Cup. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I think... I can't remember exactly where I got stuck, but I too got stuck really... so close to the end. I used to also play... It had the thingy where, like, you could connect and you could put your Game Boy cartridge into it, and you could play it on the TV. I used to do that all the time. That was such a good game. And then, was it Pokemon Stadium 2 where they had, like, the school or whatever that you could, like, compete through? That was also fun. I was happy, though, when they brought back Pokemon Snap. When they were like, we're gonna do a new Pokemon Snap, I was down. It was not as good as the original Pokemon Snap, because nothing... They forgot that one of the most fun things about Pokemon Snap was the little secrets to get them to evolve. And nothing evolved in new Pokemon Snap, and that was my big complaint. But I was happy that it's like, okay, a return to a classic beloved title. Please.
Are you sure you didn't just find the secrets?
No, I'm pretty sure I didn't, because I had, like, my Pokedex still. Never knew you could connect a Game Boy to a TV. It was something that came with Pokemon Stadium. It was like a dock that you put on your controller, and you could put your Pokemon game in it, and it would, yeah, play it on the TV. It was pretty crazy. Evolution required more artists and money. Money Nintendo didn't want to spend. Yeah, they're like, yeah, that's too difficult. Cause like the coolest thing was hitting the Magikarp throughout that one level with the river, and then you hit it into the waterfall and it becomes Gyarados. Like that was always awesome. Yeah, I love new Pokemon Snap. There's a bunch of different interactions with the glowing orb balls you tossed. Yeah. Yeah, you got the Pokemon to do more things, but I wanted more evolutions, I guess. Montech P1.
Final build with the serious loops for a while. We're currently out of stock.
Serious loops are really pretty though. I like them.
Yeah, they're available.
Whew. And all I'm gonna say is I have all of the ingredients for blueberry cobbler at home. At any moment I could make a cobbler.
Why are you threatening?
I don't know. Has Tariffs affected Skytech yet? It's still kind of up in the air is the only problem. So I don't know yet. If someone ordered 20 pieces and wanted them built on stream, well, they probably have to do it over like 5 streams then. Because I think we max do about 4 these days, yeah.
We'll just do 2 all-day streams.
Dang, 10 builds? Oof. My first PC took 2 days to put together and so much stress and worry. I was wondering left and right. Oh yeah. The first PC that you build will be incredibly nerve-wracking. That's why we usually say, like, if it's the first time building a PC, it'll probably just take all day. Like, 'cause yeah, it's a lot of questions. A lot of questions and a lot of worry. me back to the first time I built my PC. Oh yeah, how'd that go? I got some funny stories from mine too. Mainly that I actually did everything right, except I put the HDMI into the motherboard instead of the graphics card, and I got no display, and I panicked. Also, I built it on an incredibly shag rug. That's why I'm not afraid of static to this day. I've conquered it. The problem was the modular PSU cables. Some were missing the pins in them, and I started freaking out, but it was normal. But they were proprietary to each PSU manufacturer. Yeah, that is true. Whew. My friend was wondering why he was getting 15 FPS on Fortnite, and I asked him if you plugged the DisplayPort or HDMI into the motherboard or GPU, and he had to plug into the motherboard. Yep. Most common cause of why does my expensive PC have so little FPS? It's running off the iGPU. Ooh, tough. Gosh, especially in a game like Fortnite. Yeah, that's like one of the most common problems. My dad moved recently, and he moved his PC that I'd built him. And he called me, he was so sure, he's like, I think I knocked something loose. It's not working now. I was like, Dad, okay, chill. It's like, look in the back. Is it connected to the GPU or is it connected to the motherboard? And he was like, what do you mean? What the? Oh! Oh, it's working now! Yeah, which I wouldn't give him such a hard time for, but he did that the first time I gave him the PC.
Wow.
Yeah. And he used to work with computers, so I'm like, bruh. But yeah, super common mistake. The other one was putting the RAM in the wrong slots and forgetting to take off the plastic from the CPU cooler heatsink. Oof. Yeah, that one will get you. Luckily, that's a pretty easy one to figure out, because the second you start looking at temps, you'll be like, wait, what? But yeah. Yeah, RAM slots, once you do enough of them, it's pretty easy. Just remember it's in 2 and 4, but like, yeah. Also, the easy thing with RAM, took me way too long to figure this out, it's just whatever side has the sticker goes towards the CPU. Yeah, I was in a Discord call with my friend and they laughed when they realized the mistake. Yeah, that one's a classic. You gotta love it though when it's a problem like that, because it's like the easiest fix in the world. And like, man, if only all computer problems were that easy.
Yeah.
That and the other thing with RAM is the 2 clicks. You want click click with each one. Although I say that, and there's some of the like new Intel boards, the X890 boards, some of them do not give me a 2 click, and I'm like, hello? Like it's still in, but it's just like quiet, and I'm like, why? This is incredibly disheartening. Putting the RAM, I had to use so much force, I was worried it would break something, lol. Yeah, that's always the scary thing, because like you do have to really press it down. But also if it's not incorrectly and you press it down, you can break the RAM slot. I know, because I watched my boss do it. Happens to the best of us. Case looks good. Yeah. This is actually one of my favorite cases. On like a pure functional level, it's one of the best ones we've got. The mesh front has basically no difference with the front panel off and on, which is crazy. That's like something that I do with all the cases that I test. That's not usually the case. Usually it's at least like 3 to 4C. So that is fantastic. Also, it's really easy to work in, tons of space, you can fit basically any component into this. Just a lovely case. And it's like, it looks good with RGB, it looks good with no RGB, so it could also be a good workstation case. Just all around fantastic. Has chrome-like accents, makes it really stand out, yeah. I like to call it the cheese grater a bit, because like in the front it kind of looks like that. But, fantastic case. Yeah, Antec does actually some really good stuff. They're up there with Montech for me, as far as just like really good quality, especially comparative to price. What are the cases you guys have on your PCs, if you don't mind me asking? Yeah, no worries. I actually have a Fractal Meshify at home with my own system, which is another case I love. Especially because that one has like the little push, you know, like nothing is screwed down, so you can just kind of push everything off. Makes it really easy to work in. Looks fantastic. Fractal fans are really nice in a dark room. I just got back from baseball practice. I made the school team, but still finding time for PC streams and builds. Nice! Well, congrats!
Nice.
Heck yeah. I love baseball. And when I say I love baseball, I mean like I do love baseball, go Pods, but what I really love is A League of Their Own, that movie. That movie makes me nostalgic for playing baseball, and I never played baseball. I never really played any sport other than golf. Go Phillies. Fair. I was like, you're not in my division, so it's good. Texture front, yeah. very classy. Yeah. No, we really thought like that this was such a winner of a case just because it does have a lot of flexibility. It can be very gamery, but like I said, if you just all mesh in here and did like a no RGB build, it would look fantastic. You could make it an entire like rendering machine if you wanted, and it would fit in at like, you know, a big animation studio. No one would think anything of it. But the Phillies helped the Padres. We beat the Dodgers 2 times, true, and anyone who beats the Dodgers is a friend of mine.
Boo.
So, I'm from San Diego, but now somehow I'm in Dodger territory, even though we're very far from LA.
All of SoCal is LA, didn't you know?
No. So, I'm a little yellow dot in the sea of blue. I just finished setting up my Archangel 4. Nice!
Oh yeah.
Padres are beating the A's 2-1 to the bottom of the A's. Nice. Go Pods. Gigabyte now has $150 ITX AIM-5 motherboards. Nice! Yeah, ITX boards, those are hard to come by, so a $150 one is a fantastic deal. Since there's so few of them, they're not cheap. I saw that they said Pixar still uses CPU to do render because of the RAM requirements for scenes. GPU doesn't have enough VRAM. I can see that being the case. I mean, like, when you think about the price of a Threadripper versus, like, professional graphics cards, too, like, oof. Makes a lot more sense. 64 cores. Tons of RAM. Yeah. I went to Micro Center yesterday and I got a 4060 in Ryzen 5. Nice! Good combo. I'm gonna try to build a PC for videos for my YouTube channel, but I need other parts. Yeah. Sometimes it's like just about kind of getting them slowly until you got everything, and then rolling with it. Man, the Wi-Fi 7 antennas are so weird.
Oh, the magnet one?
Yeah. Like, just because I'm used to the other ones, but every time I look at them, I'm like, it's like two little eyes being like, you know? My friend gave me 2 pieces of RAM sticks, and guess what he gave me? What? What is happening? Did he give you a drive? Workstation GPUs and CPUs unfortunately not great at gaming, but it's the most stable PC you'll ever have. True. Although, I don't know, I've had some issues, or like, some people in the office who use some of the professional stuff have had some interesting driver issues. But yeah, especially stuff that's like established, if it's not like cutting edge, usually incredibly solid. And the RAM has parity. DDR3, 2 gigabytes of RAM. Oof! Oof, yeah, that's when you go, thank you, directly into the garbage. And by garbage, I mean electronic recycling. It's made by Hynix. Dang, DDR3. Back when 8 gigs of RAM meant that you had 4 sticks. Wild. looked up when it was made, and it was made in 2007. Oh my gosh!
Wow.
It still has the warranty sticker on it. Man, you should RMA it just for fun. Just be like, hey, I think there's something wrong with these, and then Hynix will be like, that's crazy. All the way to 2007. Dang. PC that is like super old and put them in there. Yeah, that's actually a really good use of it. Somewhere out there's a DDR3 machine just waiting for that. Yo, what's up, Soul Sniper? How you doing?
Yo, yo.
It's just so cool that I'm talking with you even though I live on the other side of the country. Yeah, isn't it kind of crazy how technology is? Like, being on the other side of the country, like, that's insane to begin with. But, like, we got people here from all over the world that show up, especially in the YouTube one, and it always blows my mind.
Right.
Like, how, like, you could just be talking to someone on the other side of the world. It's very humbling in a way too, you know? I don't know. I like to think that I'm making friends all over the place. Yeah. Good, you? Good, good. Sorry I'm late. My brother hurt his arm and I only got back to the hospital now, but
Dang, sorry to hear
he's
that.
still there with my rents. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I hope your brother's doing alright. Oof. Yeah, it's surprising. I was like, you're usually the first one in the chat, but Killer was today, so he beat you. You guys were finished near Automata? No. You my bad. It's all good. You gotta be there for your family. You know what I mean? Almost 12 a.m. Whew. Did you have to go to like an emergency room? I don't actually know how things work out there. So I was like, here, it's like if you got like a broken arm or something that needs like immediate attention, you go to the emergency room. And if you go to the emergency room, you're gonna be just like waiting. I feel like you always leave the emergency room like in the middle of the night. Finally, ugh, it's always a pain. What's your opinion on what one I should get, an Intel 7 or Intel 5? They're both the newest gen. It's for my friend's build. He wants to upgrade. Ooh. So if it's for the newest gen, that'd be the Core Ultras, correct? Okay, I would say this. Go with the 7 if you can afford, like if you can afford a good 360mm AIO to put on it, or just like, you know, a 360mm AIO. If that pushes the budget too much, go for the i5. It's still totally solid. But that would be my advice. Like the Intel 7 is definitely the better chip, but the Intel 5 is easier to cool. You could use a decent air cooler on it, and it would be fine. Honestly though, maybe even a really good 240 AIO might work the 265K. It really comes down to budget at that point. But you can't go wrong with either. I've gotten a stick impaled on my ring. Oh, wow, dinner when I used to work with goats. And it took so long for someone to tend to my wound, lol. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I once had to stay in the emergency room with a coworker who would cut his thumb at work. And it was either take him to the doctor or stay at work. And I was like, no, I got this. But yeah, I was there for like 5 hours. Because, like, you know, it was a pretty bad cut. But that wasn't the immediate emergency in the room, so it took a while. Okay, because I don't know what his budget is, but thanks for the advice. Yeah, no worries. Specialist has to come to remove the stick. Oh my gosh. They gotta wait for the hand guy to come and just be like, fix it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that'd be even worse. Oof. That sucks. The whole time just trying like not to look at it, not to think about it. Just, oof. Already excited for the 60 series for NVIDIA, like to see what new technology we will have then. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's just gonna keep coming. That's the crazy thing about it. Moore's law basically dictates that, yeah, every 2 years the amount of transistors doubles and the price goes down by half. So like, and that's been pretty consistent. So one can expect that going forward. Man, imagine when 8K becomes the new 4K. Like, I'm actually already dreading that. I'm like, I don't want to speak that into existence. With the same 8 gigabytes of VRAM, no doubt. Yeah, by then they might bump it up to 10. Maybe, but at the same time, I don't know if price is going to come down again for a while with what's going on. Yeah, that's true. I kind of wonder if Moore's law, the thing that like kills it, will eventually actually be price. That, you know, price goes down by half. If that rule stops, if that becomes the new like norm, it'd be really interesting. Instead of it being like, oh, we can't possibly get better technology, it's, oh, it can't possibly be cheaper. Ooh, that'd be interesting. I know I'm kind of late, but it's so funny that AMD named the GPU the same as NVIDIA. Yeah, they really love to just make things confusing. .5 gigabytes of VRAM and they'll call it 10. Yeah, honestly, the most likely case. I think things have gone the opposite way to affect the market. Yeah. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion or a popular opinion that I kind of hate the ones where like to install the power supply you like take off that sheath and you just like put it in.
This thing?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of the slide it from the side.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It's funny when they have both as an option, because ain't no one gonna take this off if it just fits like that. I've seen a few cases have that, and it's like, oh, that was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, slide it to the side is more convenient.
Mm-hmm. The 4070 Super had 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Oh, 4070 Super was such a great card. I'm talking about like it died, like, or like that was years ago, you know, like, it's still pretty relevant. There are people who still shill about 8 gigabytes of VRAM on GPUs. They don't even realize some games easily go over 10 gigabytes of VRAM, especially high resolutions. Yeah, that's very true. They're reaching pretty hard limits on the size of transistors now. They're gonna move over to stacking. Yeah, I think that's probably the way. Yeah, wow. We might actually see the end of Moore's Law in our time. In our time. By that I mean in like 3 or 4 years, maybe. I have a 4070 Super. Great card. Genuinely great card. I love that thing. And it's so small. More of that. Chiplets are the future, Marsh. People don't realize that 3 gigabytes of VRAM was where it was at. Yeah. My huge, enormous computer I had in the computer room that had 16 gigabytes of storage on it. The world was my oyster. I don't want to get the 4090 just because it's super expensive, and the 4060 people say it's not good, so I looked up, and the 4070 Super is basically the same as the 4080. Yeah. No, honestly, 4070 Super is such a sweet spot, especially for like 1440p, you'll want for nothing. Founders Edition for 5000 series are pretty small. That's true, yeah. I mean, I was just happy that the 5090 wasn't any bigger than the 4090. I was like, thankfully.
Sure.
We've drawn a line in the sand and we've decided not to cross it. Like, finally, peace. I think partners overprepared thinking these 5000 series were going to be hotter than they thought. Yeah. I'm hoping we're seeing an end to things just being hot for the sake of being as fast as possible. Like, efficiency, friends. It's important. Notice how indie devs optimize games on like AAA games. I was like, depends on how indie, but yeah. Gosh. AAA game ports for the PC are so poorly optimized sometimes, it's embarrassing. That's the next upgrade goal, the 4070 Super. It's a good goal to have. Yeah. That'll keep you cozy for a while. 6090 will be 750 watts, needs a dedicated PSU, and uses all 5 slots. No! I will not breathe into existence. Yeah, too bad the Founders Editions are kind of hard to find. Which is ironic because they're called Founders. I haven't found one. I went to 3060 Ti because I need totally understandable. 3060 Ti is still a good card. I will defend that in a lot of cases. CUDA cores, yeah, I figured. You're good. Remember when GPUs were thin as cards? Now you can't even call GPUs graphics cards, it's too fat, yeah. It's a graphics chunk.
Graphics. Alright, folks. This build is done. It is finished. It is complete.
Lovely, lovely. Oh, it looks really good actually with the serious loops.
Serious loops.
Mm-hmm.
R.I.P. Maybe they'll come back soon.
Alright folks, well this PC is done. You're just gonna go and get Windows put on, all the drivers that you need, so out of the box it's ready to go. You can just set up your profile, download your game launchers, you're good to go. We are also going to stress test this, make sure these components work and work under load, and when it passes all that, it'll be headed to you. So watch out for a D, and thank you so much for ordering with us.
Thank you, thank you.
Lovely PC. It's gonna treat you real nice. Yeah, just fantastic. Tons of room in it too for future upgrades, or pop figures, however you want to go with that. Yeah. Great PC. Lovely, lovely. Really nice build. Thank you. Give that man a raise. I wish I was in charge of that. bio screen for the victory. I got one of your PCs and I don't know what cables to connect. Help me, please. Sure. If you got it and it's just now out of the box, the only thing you're gonna be looking for is this cable, the power cable. You're gonna connect it to the back of the power supply and into a wall socket. You're also going to look for your HDMI or your DisplayPort cable from your monitor. That's going to plug into this guy right here, the GPU. If it's DisplayPort, you're going to look for the one that basically matches that. If it's HDMI, you're going to look for the one that matches that. You're going to plug it into here and then into your monitor. And then if you have a mouse and keyboard, which you should, it came in the box, you're going to plug that into a USB back here. And that should be everything you need. All you're going to want to do is this button back here, you're going to click it so that the line is down. So like 0 is off, 1 is on. And when you do that, and you hit the power button, it should all go on. If you need any further help though, our customer service is in the office right now and should be until 5 o'clock our time, so still plenty of time. Feel free to get them on the phone, they can walk you through anything. Alright folks, well, this was our last PC of the day. What? Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us on the build stream. We'll be back on Friday with more builds. Friday? Yeah. With more builds. Another build-a-thon. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your week. Go eat some really good food and then tell me about it on next stream.
Bye-bye.
Bye.